Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life. And I got a follow up to the ideas are easy and action is hard. And when I said that, maybe people who don't take as much action are just inventors, I think I want to correct that a little bit and just say that people who don't take action are dreamers. Because inventors do work hard in perfecting their product and their ideas, but when you don't take it a step further, then you're just a dreamer. And so that was a very good point brought up by a few people, and thank you for that. So I got another question about how to deal with oppressive laws and regulations that keep you or stifle your business from starting. And that's a really great question. So this is part of my formula on starting a new business. One is I don't worry about any of those when I've got an idea and I want to test it to see if it works. Now, of course, if your idea is that you're going to do things like my neighbor over here is getting a new swimming pool and they're getting they have to dig this big hole and stuff. Obviously, they need permits and everything. And so you can't just go and test performing your product or your craft without following the laws and regulations, because you need permits, and if you go and do that, you're going to get slapped pretty hard for it, and you're not going to make any money. Of course, making money is what it's all about. So, that's not what it's 100% about, but you don't have a viable business if it doesn't cover its own costs. So my way of doing things is that I will test. And so if I have an idea that something may or may not work, I will go out there and test it. I will test it as far as I can before I get into the laws and regulations of things. And this includes not getting a business license, not doing a bunch of other stuff, because until you really start making any money, there's no business there. It's hobby. So consider this. When you are just testing out your theories and maybe you're making a little bit of money on it, it's a hobby. It is not a business. It's just a hobby. It's not a business until you start actually having a good cash flow. And, your local laws and regulations may dictate what that final number is on good cash flow, but that's kind of the measure that I use. And so one of the prime examples of that is that I don't go out and create a business name and get the business license and stuff and formalize any trademarks or anything like that until the company has made enough profit to pay for that. So as a hobby, you're probably not paying yourself. You're paying yourself very little. Instead, put that money back into it to make other stuff. My wife is making faces at me out the window. She's trying to disrupt me. She did an excellent job. She just doesn't know it yet because she doesn't understand what I'm saying to the camera because she's still behind the window. So, yeah, I just had to make the face back. So, earn enough money from the venture that you have going to pay for the business license, and then to pay for the name registrations, to pay for the trademark and everything, to pay for the lawyers and the legal contracts. Don't put all that money up out front unless it absolutely requires that you do it that way. And so, with that said, do before you be. Does that make sense? So, if you take action and you do where you intend to be, then you'll be there. And the laws and regulations and everything, you figure that out after you figure out whether or not you have a product or service that people want. Because worrying about all that stuff up front just puts giant roadblocks in the way of your creativity. Don't worry about it. Figure it out, make sure that it's real, make sure it becomes that, and then figure out all the regulations. That is step 2. And then, if you're able to get past that, you may very well have a viable business. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.